Hello everyone, how are you? It's Rob with a Photoshop tutorial. Hope you're okay. I'm just going to go through a few things about selections, and this is aimed mainly at beginners or people who just aren't sure about making selections, if they want to make a composite or just move one image to another, etc. All that stuff. So I just want to show you a few things. Now usually when you go onto YouTube and you find a video about making selections, they will give you an image like this one. This is my son, and Photoshop uses the contrast usually between the background and the image you want to move or adjust or select. And so when you've got a background like this, it's very easy for Photoshop to detect the edges. So in this example, I'm just going to use the Lasso Tool, and I'm going to make a very quick selection. So I'm just going round the outside, very rough, as you can see, very rough. And I'm going to click on the refine edge box up the top. I'm using CS5 by the way, I'm not using CS6 as yet. And up here we all know about the view modes, so you can toggle between the different modes. I'm going to leave it on the checkered board at the moment, and before even clicking on Smart Radius or adjusting the radius with this slider, I'm just going to click in this box here, and using the Refine Radius tool, I'm just going to brush round the areas I want to get rid of, and because of the contrast between the background and the image, Photoshop will straight away just get rid of all that stuff. There, in a few seconds I've got rid of it already. So that's one way. Obviously if I wanted now to put that on a different background, it'll be very easy. I hope you can see that. Let's see if I can just zoom in. So already Photoshop has done a brilliant job in selecting that. So let's cancel that and let's zoom out. So what if we've got a different kind of picture that's not quite as easy? Well, this one again is the same. My boy is Harley, and here we've got quite dark areas here, and the contrast is very minimum between his hairline here and the shadow on the wall. So let's try and select this one using the same method. So using my lasso tool, I'm just gonna drag selection around the outside. I'm guessing because I don't know where his hair is. Very rough. Oops. Very rough, as you can see. It's around the outside. And we'll click on Refine Edge Tool again. Again, leave it on the checkerboard. We're going to leave Smart Radius unchecked, and we're just going to do exactly the same. So Refine Radius Tool. We just make the brush slightly bigger, and let's see what happens. So you can see that the place of low contrast, the areas of low contrast, Photoshop is struggling. But round the ear here, I can just click and drag, and Photoshop can detect the edges very easy without adjusting anything in the dialog box at all yet. I haven't even touched anything, so we're just going to go around here. So it's made a pretty good selection. Just go over the hair there, and actually that's pretty good. We can now make some adjustments. If I just move the radius, slide it up a bit. Let's check on the Smart Radius, and we can try some different areas to try and bring that selection a bit better. We can use the smooth and the contrast, bring the contrast up a bit. And so Photoshop now can see the edges a bit better, and we have a bit of a better selection. It's not perfect, but we can go through and change a few things to make it better. So that's another way. But what if we've got a picture like this? This is Alfie, my nephew, and there are areas similar to the last picture, but here it's all dark. So what can we do? Well, there's a few things. So instead of using the lasso tool, let's use a quick selection tool, and let's see how what kind of job Photoshop can do. So let's drag a selection, and as you can see already it's struggling because of the similar, and look, I've selected the whole thing. So I'm going to use my Option or Alt key to minus the selection to bring it in, to deselect areas I don't want. So I'm just going to paint over the outside, and actually that's not too bad, around the head. Oh, not too bad. So we've got a selection here. Obviously it's very rough, but what kind of things we can use to make this selection better? I want to just talk about a few things. So now we've got a basic selection. If we use the lasso tool now, there's a few keys we can press to help with your selection. So if you press Shift, if you can see that, the lasso tool icon will change, and it will have a plus next to it. And up in the top, this options bar here will change. So if you want to add to your selection, you can use the lasso tool holding Shift. And now if I just draw round here, I can add to the selection. So I want to grab this here, and I'm adding to the selection now, holding the Shift and drawing as normal. So let's take some more off, and I'll just show you some other stuff. So let's get rid of some of this. Obviously we wouldn't do this normally. If Photoshop can pick it up, obviously that's working. So what if we want to add this, but then we've got too much? So if I use the lasso tool again, I'm going to hold Shift and I'm going to draw a selection, but I've gone too far. So now if we press the Option or Alt key, the icon will change now, but now it's got a minus symbol. So now I can deselect this area, so I can refine the selections like this. So if we zoom in, so now holding Shift, I'm going to grab this part here, still holding Shift, I'm just going to get this here. Let's just check the other areas. So I want to deselect this fingernail here, so I'm going to hold Option or Alt, and I'm just going to drag a selection that I want to get rid of, and then I want to add to it, so I'm holding Shift and I'm just going to get this bit here. And so when you've got an image with low contrast, you want to spend a bit of time getting the best selection you can. Then you can go into Refine Edge, and you can check on Smart Radius. Now I'm not going to just draw around it now, because if I do, let's see what happens. Actually, it's doing a pretty good job. And again, you can output it to different masks and selections and stuff. But that's a few different ways of selecting an image. Let me know what you think. My name's Rob. Thanks for watching. See you next time.